And we're back!
Sweet!
Guys, please do keep me abreast of any problems. I could have used a different word there. I didn't want to.
Hey man, if you got a word you gotta use it. Just saying it, playing it.
So, try refreshing if you guys have any problems.
I feel that if people have problems, they probably can't hear us right now.
Yeah.
So I think the advice is solid, but the means of giving it out, maybe not so much.
Yeah, I refuse to believe that. I believe that they can hear us in their hearts, so they'll get the message one way or another. And hopefully things will work okay. I'm going to try it with Arrow on. If it lags, I'm gonna have to restart the stream again. But it's okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, this is Game 2 between TSM Evolution and mTw North America. So mTw did not win Game 1. Evo just played so fluidly, played so well, took that game with a very sizable lead. And I don't know, I think mTw, they can come back. At the same time, Evo, they are playing solid.
Yeah, Evo had a very just well put together game last time. They've really come together as a team. You know, they had all those change ups as far as order goes, but they're in shape now. I like it. Makes me feel good.
What could easily be hurting them right now is the fact that they have Lemon God instead of Xmithy. Lemon God in the jungle, something I don't know him for. So I feel that's hurting them, but at the same time they might be able to adapt. They might be able to work through that and take a game. But not having that jungle experience, not being the consistent jungler for mTw, they are going into this game at a disadvantage for that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm still working with some messages. Just want to make sure we're to optimal quality right here.
Alright, I'll keep talking. Feel free to jump in.
First ban out Soraka. Oh. Of course, Soraka was problematic. Soraka been a standard ban for a while now, but seeing that bring out the really high quality Soraka play last game is one of those things where that sustain helped out quite a lot bot lane and has. So no real surprise. Nautilus coming out as well, as he was just unrelenting at both sides.
Now,
both ends.
I think the bans actually have changed for Evo. They did not ban Urgot last game, but Alistar is still being banned out. And I don't know, they just left open Vladimir. They might leave open Shen, actually. So the characters they were scared of in that last game might show up. Shen is banned. Will we see a Vladimir come out from Evo? Wings of Death is a very solid Vladimir, and actually so solid and scary that mTw banned him last game.
Yeah, doing a good job of really poking out at Muffin Cutie, because Muffin Cutie, especially if he were to manage to get his hands on Alistar, and they do hit Leona again as well, which is a little bit of a surprise as they managed to more or less get Muffin Cutie quieted down in the earlier parts of that game, but without Nautilus and Soraka, that might be a different story, of course. Still hitting Alistar and Leona. Two of Muffin Cutie's best. He's going to get Janna this time, unless they're taking Janna AP mid, which is something that we saw Mandatory Cloud do in the GESL.
Whoa. Instant Taric Graves coming out from Evo. So they're like, if that Janna is going support, we're just going to kill her. You can throw a shield on someone, whatever. We've got Taric stun, we've got Shatter, and we've got a very angry cowboy who's going to blow you up.
Ooh, Ashe coming out. It's been a while. I mean, since I saw Ashe really played in competitive play. I do love me some good Ashe. Ashe more of a sit back and farm kind of champion. Really vibes well with Soraka, but of course Soraka not an option at the moment. So going to have to be very careful with that mana usage. But going to be pretty good at getting away from Taric and Graves in general, as we'll be able to put the slow on. So we'll see how it ends up going. As I can try to remember if I've seen Atlanta play Ashe. I want to say personally I've seen it happen once or twice. But obviously not as much as sort of a quirky Ezreal kind of.
Atlanta loves ranged skill shot global ultimates. Yeah. I guess the range part of there is redundant.
Yeah.
But he loves global ultimates, so the Ashe pick, not that surprising. He has played him before, so the cool thing about Ashe versus Graves is that Ashe has 600 range versus Graves 525, so you can actually pressure quite a bit with Ashe's auto attack versus that shotgun. So if he can go ahead, stay at a safe distance, keep up harass, and just if they do get engaged on by Taric with that stun combination. Hopefully they've whittled down Afro moves low enough that they can actually win that fight.
Yeah, and with Janna's shield and Zephyr, it'll help that getaway even more, especially if for some reason Atlanta's running low on mana there. Maokai going to be coming out for the jungle side of things for Unstoppable from the looks of it, unless they want to take Taric into the jungle. Karthus is going to be going mid. Karthus has been a very popular mid lane lately. Of course, the global comp has been shut down more or less with Soraka taken out. Nocturne obviously not going to be going into the jungle. There's that Nocturne top lane that people did once or twice. That might have been on the European server. I can't for the life of me remember now, but that was a pretty fun one to watch because Nocturne's pretty... I mean, he's got a pretty strong top lane. He kind of lacks a lot of that sustain that a lot of people like. He's not quite as beefy, but he started to armor 5 pots and had himself a pretty good game because they just went aggressive from pretty much the start. I think I saw that once, maybe twice ever. I liked it, though.
Actually, I've done it before. It's cool, but he pushes up like crazy. Yeah. And his sustain, not amazing. Okay, that's cool. I love Rumble. I hope they pick Rumble. Rumble is a counterpick to Vladimir, but Rumble's really fallen out because he's got so many bad matchups top lane now. Rumble coming out, I used to play so much Rumble. This is going to be cool. Muffin Cutie is in for a scary line, actually, because once Rumble hits level 5, he can just kind of kill Vladimir over and over, and... Is that gonna be Atlanta in the jungle, Lemon God on AD, Muffin Cutie on Janna? So they've switched up the roles.
Looks like it is. Mandatory Cloud going to be taking TF mid. At least from the looks of it, they still do have some time to switch around. I do love me some Atlanta on Nocturne, though.
Okay, so they're going back to the roots. I really like this decision because Lemon God, honestly, he was just not confident in the jungle. His decisions were not natural to him. You could kind of tell that he was taking a lot of risk. Like he felt like he was taking a risk whenever he did anything. So he would actually make risky plays because everything was a risky play to him. So I like this. Atlanta going back to his roots. They need to, work with the roster change for the moment. But I have to say, I'm really liking Evo's lineup.
Yeah, it looks really nice there. I mean, Lemon God possibly saying I just wasn't that comfortable in the jungle. Get me down bot lane, Atlanta. Taking up the helm. It's nice to see him switch it around. You got to make those kind of adjustments. I'm going to do a quick shout out to Steel Series, Kingston HyperX, and Gunner Glasses for being the wonderful sponsors. Head over to Solomid.net/contests.php, I think is our link. Somebody will throw it up in the chat for us. And let's take a little look at these lanes here. I do love a good Rumble Vladimir matchup. I love Rumble all the time. They've been playing him top lane in Europe for forever. And
actually,
getting some love over here.
I talked to someone from Europe, and apparently Rumble's actually become an American thing now. He used to be really popular on release in Europe. Like at Season 1 finals, Rumble got banned out because, I think TSM let him get through once, and they were just like, never again. So Rumble used to be dominant. He received quite a few nerfs. Top lane has changed a lot. Woda used to be the best item ever. Now is a pretty okay item. So that really hurt Rumble quite a bit, but Rumble should destroy Vladimir. It's just a matchup in his favor. Vladimir doesn't have the damage. Rumble he literally spits out damage. It's called Flame Spitter. Yeah. So
and he will stand in it hurts.
Yeah, he can wreck Vladimir. Yeah. Mid lane, Karthus versus Twisted Fate. So eventually Salsa will have the option to just be like, throw down a wall, throw down some lay waste. If Mandatory Cloud tries to respond with a gold card, he will probably eat one lay waste, and he can start winning trades. But Mandatory Cloud, I like that cleanse pickup, not going for a super aggressive build, because if you look at the lanes, with Rumble and his ultimate, with Lemon God and his ultimate, and of course Atlanta being able to fly in from anywhere, he can almost more or less secure a kill with a decent amount of setup.
That's another thing that I always find interesting about the TF, and one of the reasons I love watching him play mid is he can really make those moves all over the map at will once he hits 6, which is going to allow him to synergize really, really nicely with Atlanta, because that TF ult will come down, and then obviously Atlanta will be able to come in and really put some hurt on. So bot lane could be a very scary place to be if you overextend a little bit once there's a couple of level 6s sitting out on the map, especially with the sort of chain CC they'd be able to drop in there if Lemon God wants to initiate with his ult. Atlanta maybe comes in and drops the fear, and then a gold card could come out all of a sudden you're dead and you never even got to move from where you were standing.
But we have Taric Graves bot lane, we have the Rumble top lane. The lanes are in favor of EVO right now. And if they can go ahead and just win their lanes really hard, eventually they'll be like, I'm Twisted Fate. I'm going to try an ultimate. Oh, you're grouped up as 5 people. I can't do anything. Yeah. So if we see lanes just dominate from EVO before Twisted Fate can really do a whole lot, this game can easily swing in their favor. And at Maokai, we saw Unstoppable X get so aggressive with Nautilus. Maokai is the same thing. He is just this hyper ganker. I'm going to go into the ground and root you. And I mean, in one way, there are very few ways to stop a Maokai gank outside of flashing into your tower or hoping his root bugs out, which it does sometimes.
Looks like I have to do the show mouse thing. That's off now, so I'm going to...
Oh, Nyut with the best Taric skin, by the way.
Yeah, Armor of the 5th Age Taric is the best Taric by launch. I quite like Mafia Graves as well. It's like that didn't fix the show mouse thing. I'm going to have to...
In terms of style right now, I gotta say EVO has the style points. What skins do we have in the bot lane for mTw? I mean, they have the Tempest Janna, which is okay. But Armor of the 5th Age Taric, Mafia Graves, that is style, that is class, that is the sound of a shotgun shell hitting the floor, which just sounds so cool. But style doesn't win everything.
No.
Welcome to
well, it wins some things. It wins my heart.
A few things, yeah.
And that's an important thing to win.
If you have the most style, you could win Wombat's heart.
Yep.
Not listed on the contest page, but maybe.
But
maybe.
You could.
Okay.
So, boots 3 pots on everybody again, except Taric and Janna. Going boots, wards, and support build. Counter respectively, I think I... No, I did those. Those are respectively. Okay. I forgot what order I set them in.
And actually, it's kind of funny if you look at what it was last game, exact opposite. Blitzcrank, boots 2 wards, and a Soraka, the same setup that we have on Muffin Cutie right now. So something nice is EVO did get a ward out into the Wraiths area of the map for mTw. So what this is going to mean is if Atlanta ever does Wraiths, ever heads towards his red through that shorter path rather than going around, they will spot him and they will have that knowledge and they can actually time their lanes. They'll be like, alright, Atlanta just left Wraiths, Atlanta just did red, you have 20 or so seconds, 10 or so seconds to be crazy in your lane because you cannot possibly reach it. And actually, look at this. They did this last game, they're going to do it again. They're just going to take Wraiths, they're going to just try and set the jungler for mTw behind a little bit more.
Yeah, and it's a really nice little move as opposed to, you know, you can't really go over there and get golems. Just a little 2-man. They know that they're safe. They got the ward down. They haven't seen anything in there. It's a nice little move right there by Aframu and Yut to get in there, leaving all, just taking blue Wraith just to leave those little 4 gold kind of crappy. Nobody really wants them. They end up at the 99-cent store kind of Wraiths. Atlanta going to get his blue to start off, so not looking for a lot of aggression out of him terribly early on, and with their bot lane being a relatively passive one and balls playing Vladimir versus Rumble. Not terribly surprised. It might be nice to shut down Rumble a little bit earlier, but looks like they're not going to go for it. And TF versus Karthus mid. Of course, Salsa going to be able to play back pretty much as he wants and just kind of relax.
No, you know, chill out. I mean, Karthus, he's a skeleton, so it must be really exhausting to move around just because you have no muscles. So it's good to get some relaxation on that bony old
yeah, you get it too.
man.
Yeah, you know, it's he can't go for a nice jog. It's gonna really cause a lot of problems for him. As far as his osteo, I didn't have a good word there. We're gonna just give it up.
Yeah, all right.
Unstoppable double buff. Lemon God being moved on right here. They managed to punch through the shield, and Lemon God taking a whole lot of damage, but turned some around on Nyut, and not quite enough to get them forced out. Got to burn that potion and get himself right back into it. Maokai double buffed, makes a look at top lane, but not quite ready to head up there. Early ward out of Vlad, though, as Maokai does sort of show up early and often a lot of times when he's in the jungle.
And of course, Maokai does not care about the pool at all. He will still actually land a root even if he pools in response. So Maokai can just, you know, do what he wants top lane. Balls has to be super cautious. Well, we have that ward there, actually, which is a really cool idea. I like that. Slap a ward down, don't let your Vladimir die.
Yeah, don't let your Vlad die. Well, don't let your Vlad die, always a good game to play, really. Because he can get behind really, really quickly, especially with Rumble up top, his ability to push things. Afromu making his move in. They're going to put the damage down on Muffin Cutie. Nice switch over to Lemon God. Doesn't have quite enough auto attack damage to get it done, though, and both of them are going to make their way through that. Going to trade fairly evenly on the AD and support side of things. Yet a little bit lower down than Muffin Cutie. Unless they're lying right there. The stun comes down again. Lemon God going to do his best. They're going to dive it. Manage to get first blood, but it might turn into a double kill here as Afro Moo gets taken out. Nyut going to make his way out the backside, though, and does not get picked up by Lemon God. A trade 1-for-1 there with the first blood money going over to TSM.evo.
And overall, going to be more in favor of Lemon God. He's going to pick up that CS at the turret. And hopefully he can try and get as much deny as possible. Not in a good position to do that with the way the lane shaped out, though. I do love that they went for Muffin Cutie instead of Lemon God. Lemon God, he must have had his finger over that cleanse button this entire time, just waiting to cleanse that Ignite from Afromu. But of course, Muffin Cutie, the support, never ever gets the benefit of a greedy spell like that.
Yeah. Oh, that was such a close one, man. That tower dive really, really early on and just couldn't... I mean, they made something happen, but... not quite as much as I'm sure they'd want to, as Lemon God able to stay on the lane. Pushes that one on into mid, and Lemon God going to back it on up. He's got a little bit of gold now, 11.55 on the gold counter for Lemon God. Going to back up, buy himself something nice. A woman's got to treat herself proper. Going to leave Janna on the lane to sort of hold this one as Afromu and Yet come back out and immediately start pushing that lane up with no concern for their health or safety.
Trying to deny as much CS as possible. Muffin Cutie picks one up with Tornado. Muffin Cutie, don't get shot! Don't do that! A bullet hits him, but luckily bullets are not instantly fatal. His top lane,
okay, that was weird.
Alright!
Alright! Twisted Advance eventually going off there. No idea what happened right there. I think everybody's a little bit confused by that one. That just kind of hung out there. He should have pressed the button again, and maybe that's how it works now. Maybe there's a little back-end change that Riot didn't mention. So Paul's going to get away from that one fairly effortlessly. So he has forced out. Wings of Death going to push it into tower. He's going to have to back up a little bit.
So something happening there. I think he did force the pull out of balls, so that is some damage taken by him. And you can really see that Wings of Death trying to do any sort of poke he can. And with that ward by blue, Lemon God getting caught in the bot lane. The burst comes out from Afromu.
In there really quickly to get the knock up, but it doesn't dissuade a lot of that damage. And Lemon God taking very much the worst of that one. He's going to have to be playing it fairly safe right here. He's got a potion burning, got that double Doran's Blade, so they're both sitting fairly even. An extra potion on Afromu, but that's about the only different spot lane. 35 to 37 CS. We're in pretty even. That and the death on Graves, pretty much. The only difference is right there, but it was a nice little trade.
And right now, Afromu and trying to be as aggressive as possible. They have that Taric stun. They don't have great ward coverage in the river, but I think they assume that if Atlanta goes bot lane, he will go through that tri-bush.
Yeah, and Afromu going to get knocked up on the slide in. Going to keep Lemon God alive. That might have been a different story if he had not had a very, very timely tornado right there. Muffin Cutie with a nice knock up, and Afromu back into the bushes to continue hiding. He's all Mafia style. He's ready to put a hit out on Lemon God, who is being forced to play very, very well back. And let's see, where is Nocturne? Nocturne's sitting at 5 right now. Ball's pretty low on health, but he's going to get a little reprieve as Rumble heads back. Muffin Cutie playing out pretty much as far as he safely feels like he can. TF was headed bot lane, and then I guess remembered that he was supposed to be playing mid, so ManCloud going to head back mid with nothing crazy going on down there. I think he's about 6. He's at 7 right now, about 6 on mid. Yeah, Atlantis managed to make 6 as well. So now would really be the time for them to try to turn that around down bot with some TF ults and some Nocturne ults, all nice and synchronized. Only 100 gold, actually make it no gold difference whatsoever through 8 minutes of play. As another even game is getting started up here, it was really all about that teamwork last time for TSM.evo, as the early game was fairly even as it has been this time.
Twisted Fate ult was just used, did not accomplish anything. This is actually going to be kind of scary for the bot lane, because now Afromu and can go crazy because they know that Card Master will not show up with a gold card to slam in their faces.
Yeah, they've got a nice little chunk of downtime. Nocturne going to go ahead and pick up blue buff for himself once again. TF was coming over thinking maybe I get one so I could draw my little fan shot more times than just I'm able to right now with that no extra regen. Little bush fight here between Muffin Cutie and Nyut. Nyut going to get the better of it as Muffin Cutie's forced out the side. Nocturne ult coming down up top as Wings of Death is going to get just exploded. Gets the ult off too little too late, however, and Atlanta going to give a little bit of money over to Balls, get himself an assist, and then head back into the jungle.
And that's actually one of the reasons Rumble fell out of play, just because you can gank him so easily. Leona takes a lot of damage to the bot lane, the ultimate being used by the Kumu combo. Muffin Cutie ults Nyut back. He's trying to get him down. Looks like he might be able to escape this. Yeah.
A little too much health and armor there for Lemon Guy to get through. Muffin Cutie getting absolutely exploded. The Ignite comes down as well. The ult from Karth going to be too late. Lemon Guy only going to take a little chunk of health off of it. His Afro move is too low there. Goes low once again. The armor going to save him. However, and they're going to make it out of there with a 1-for-0 kill. Karthus sadly not getting an assist on that one as he did burn the Requiem.
Karthus is clenching a bony fist right now.
It's like, oh, that was mine. You're supposed to disengage immediately.
And that is the strength of Graves right there, because did you expect that kill?
No, that came from like more or less full health down to nothing. That just the burst out of Graves is always a dangerous thing. And then obviously with the little bit of sustain that Taric adds on and all the extra juiciness and the solid stun as well. It's just such a potent combination. You get things like that. It's a beautiful thing to see. Mandatory Cloud pushed back to his tower by those buttons. As Salse looking relaxed as ever. Mid lane ult on the way up. Missed Karthus. Think that's who the intended target was, as Wings of Death doesn't really have a whole lot going on as Vlad's not on lane. Just wanted to lock him down. Wasn't a ton of damage in the area for them to really do anything with that. Mid lane sitting at 61, or I'm sorry, it's 82 CS. I looked at Vlad. 82 CS versus 93. So Karth not getting too far out front, even though he is bullying poor TF just a little bit.
Right now, Ball's at half health. Right now, Wings of Death is trying to set up a kill. It's like, I could get you with just one combo of spells if you just step out of position. He's pushing up par. This actually gives him good CS and good sustain from his revolver. Not great, though. Just good.
Just good. Yeah, they had to nerf that down because it made Vlad ridiculous.
Made every ridiculous.
It did.
Oh.
Mandatory Cloud coming in gold card in tow. Ball's very low on health, but they get the stun down and manage to take a ton out of Wings of Death. But with that shield, he's got enough to pick up Vlad, so this is going to be a 1-for-1 trade as Mandatory Cloud finishes off Rumble. An assist going out, so a little bit of money going around, but certainly Vlad, Ball's not going to be too happy with the way that turned out. About a 1k gold lead right now for mTw. That's going to get immediately erased as an uncontested dragon comes down for TSM.evo.
So the gold lead just ahead. This is actually an incredibly even game still. But looking at where the gold is right now, Ashe only at 59 CS, Graves at 77. The favor is in for bot lane is in Graves' favor, which is terrifying because Graves is really scary. But at the same time as Ashe, you kind of expect to lose CS, which it's weird to say that, but it's not that bad. If you fall behind, you still have an amazing ultimate.
Muffin Cutie getting just, God, so much burst. The ult manages to finish it off. Lemon God in a lot of trouble now. The flash forward comes out. Lemon God forced to flash to the other side of the turret. Afro Moon not going to back it up with a free kill. Karth ult once again spent a little too early for his own good. Salse feeling like the little kitten that got left out in the rain mid lane. Poor little bony kitten. There's nothing he could do. Unstoppable making a move up top. He's got oracles, though. Ball's going to see it and clear off that ward and make it look like he's headed back in. Wings of Death going to push Balls back, and bot lane is looking ever more scary as Afro Mu and Nyut just push that lead out, man. Now 30 CS in the lead. Got a BF sword. He's 3-1-0. And poor Janna.
Oh, a 1,500 gold lead right now between Graves and Ashe. That is just terrifying. So the gold might be equal or only an 800 gold difference across the map, but the gold where it is on the people who do not want to have it right now for Evo. So, right, how far is Graves from a Bloodthirster, which I think he might buy first, or from the edge? Yeah, he can actually buy a Bloodthirster right now.
I was going to say, it can't be too far out on that one, as he's already got the BF sword and picked up a bunch of extra stuff. Again, man, just that 30 CS lead on top of a 2-kill lead. No deaths for Lemon God so far as he's managed to make it out, but that's mostly been because Muffin Cutie is the better target for the moment. He is going to get that Bloodthirster out early, which is going to make him nigh unkillable with help from Taric bot lane, so it might behoove mTw to go ahead and try to get bot tower at least wounded so that they can exert a little bit of control over it. Only a 500 gold lead on the rest of the map. Mandatory Cloud doing a pretty good job, 114 CS versus the 131. Even like I said, even though Karthus was bullying, he's got himself a kill up top against Wings of Death as well. Going to pretty much make up for that CS difference. Ball's able to hang in there against Wings of Death now, showing that his ability to sort of stick in there is very, very strong. Lemon God going to take a little bit of damage. Unstoppable now in a lot of trouble by the jungle. Atlanta going to pick that kill up. See Salse, but just going to take one too many buttons, and that's going to be the end of that approach on Karthus as they can't quite finish him up. Mandatory Cloud headed over towards blue, kind of saying maybe I'd like a blue. Might give it over to Atlanta again. Mandatory Cloud would certainly be happy to be able to spam his skills a little bit more often.
Yeah, he will.
He does have blue card. Yeah, it gets the blue.
Blue card is nice, but all of a sudden you have the ability to just go crazy.
Yeah, the cooldowns, especially that ult cooldown.
Now, unfortunately, the ult was used without the blue buff, so he doesn't get that cooldown benefit. And this means, once again, bot lane can go crazy. So Afromu has a Bloodthirster. They want to fill it out a bit before they actually just dive in. But he already has plus 14 damage. Muffin Cutie is clearly just a squishy, blow-upable target. Does not have any benefit.
Dropping the ult up top, Wings of Death going to manage to hover his way out of there. Makes it through. Not too much of a problem. Drops the ult to clear the lane, and then he's just going to back it on up. Still dead even on the money right now. However, bot lane getting the worst of it. Who's winning that one?
It is in Graves' favor by quite a bit.
Well, no, I mean over on MTW's side, who's whenever it looks like Nocturne is a good chunk of the money split.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. And extra assist here and there.
And Oracle's was actually lost on Unstoppable with that kill onto him. So they're actually a little bit ahead on MTW overall, but it's still a 500 gold difference, which is pretty much nothing. I mean, it's a Doran's Blade, but a Doran's Blade, it does not always determine games. Sometimes it does.
Sometimes it does, yeah. It's good on MTW. I mean, this change-up seems to be helping. Most of the deaths on the Muffin Cutie. He's not playing anybody that needs to get super fed, though. Afromu going to go ahead and dive straight into that one. The Requiem going to come out, and with 3 bottom, that could be a whole lot of trouble. Muffin Cutie coming out to try to help, taking a ton of damage. Lemon God and Muffin Cutie both super low, but TF there is going to dissuade any further attacks onto this bot lane pair. They're going to try and come up through Tri-Bush. Mandatory Cloud going to run a little bit of interference, gets a little bit of damage put down onto Unstoppable. Lemon God coming up against anybody's better judgment. Muffin Cutie still hanging in there as well. They've managed to get Yet down very low, but with Salse coming in and no great ward coverage here, it could be troublesome. Mandatory Cloud going to get caught, gets himself out of there very, very quickly. They do manage to pick up Janna at the bottom as Afromu slid himself out of the Tri-Bush and caught Lemon God out playing a little bit.
Mandatory Cloud actually getting caught by Wings of Death right now. Coming in from the side, he picks him off. Will get feared. Wings of Death will not be able to get any more kills, but that roam down bot. Oh my god, Lemon God, was it enough?
It was! Oh. Managed to pick both of them up, and that was Muffin Cutie that got picked up, not Lemon God, clearly, as my brain was a little bit behind my mouth on that one. They do pick bot outer up, and with the lane push coming in, a cannon minion as well, and only Atlanta here to try to keep him out the backside. He's going to get Unstoppable to disengage, but it looks like bot inner is going to go down as well. Just a fight where MTW stayed a little bit too long, and kind of had to, because this might have been the result either way. Might have been able to stop the inner from coming down, though, if they had backed. Top outer in a lot of trouble as Balls has just been sort of silently doing his duty up top, trying to get that turret finished up. Salse doing a nice job clearing the lane there, and Balls just going to go straight up with him, drops the pool, and going to hope he gets him on the ult side of things. He does. Balls picking up the kill on Salse, and the Dragon looks like it may head over to TSM.evo. Atlanta in there to try to contest, throws the tornado through, but it's not enough. The ult a little too late for Atlanta. They're going to try and pick up Wings of Death on it. Going to pick up Maokai to start things off. Wings of Death goes down to Nocturne on the other side with assists out to Ashe and Janna on both of those. Looks like top outers are going to go down, and MTW with a nice little turnaround here. They don't get Dragon, so they're 1,000 gold behind, but they're going to get 2 turrets for the price of a very bad team fight for TSM.evo.
That was actually just kind of sudden. Like they stood around after that last engagement where they've really taken a lead, and they just overstayed their welcome. So they did get Dragon, but so much went down, and of course, Balls up top is just like, your Karthus, I don't care, you can't do anything, you don't have your ult, bye, I'm gonna kill you.
Gonna get mid-inner as well, so ending up being a pretty nice trade there for mTw.NA. They of course have bot inner down. It's a little bit harder to make a move on than mid-inner. It gives you a little bit less map control, but Nice turnaround right there. They're going to turn it into a 1k gold lead, and losing that dragon not quite so bad now as they get a whole lot of towers to make up for it. 7 kills to 7 through 18.5 minutes of play, give or take, and mTw looking like they've solidified pretty well. Evo needs to start getting that teamwork together.
Well, they can still rely on Graves. Graves right now has a great lead over Ashe still. That has not changed. He has Zeal, he has a Fort Potion. I actually expect a lot of aggression coming out from Evo once again because there's a Fortitude Potion on Graves.
Yeah, Ashe got the BF Sword and the Pickaxe, headed straight for an Infinity Edge, Wings of Death. Still trading with Balls up top. Balls is kind of scaled out of it, but hanging out in that fire a little too long means he's going to get the worst of that trade. Mandatory Cloud comes out, drops himself a red card. And Muffin Cutie and Atlanta hanging out in the area. A little bit of posturing right now. Rumble looked like he was headed down. It might have just been to drop that ward. I can see if that ward was there before. Unstoppable having trouble. Gets back in very quickly though. That made me nervous.
Yeah, no, I was scared for a second. There is a pause button apparently that is not being used. I don't actually know what the pause button is, so maybe they don't know the button.
It's pause.
Is it just?
I think it's the button.
Oh. The pause button is the pause button.
Yeah, I think it is. Anyway, I haven't had to use it yet.
That was only a 1 second DC, so nothing really lost there.
Yeah. Just a little flutter.
A little flitter.
It's a flitter thing. Okay.
I think it's flutter, but I like the word flitter.
Flitter. You can flit from place to place. That's
you can also flit top lands. Wings of Death gets initiated by Mandatory Cloud. The Ashe lands, Nocturne lands. Oh my god, you poor Yordle.
You shouldn't have put yourself in a robot. It made you too scary, and they had to drop 3 ults to pick up Wings of Death. Caught him out, though, and it's going to allow them to push down top inner turrets. I'll say is going to show up with very, very close in behind. Unstoppable there, so they're going to start this little dance up. Looks like mTw might just disengage. Head into the jungle, so I'll say going to follow. Not too far, though. Just going to pop one into the bush. Pause comes down, as it looks like we may have had a disconnect on one side or another. Maybe they were just testing it out.
Maybe they were finding out which button was the pause button. Apparently you can use /resume, so it might be /pause.
Yeah, you could probably do that.
Okay.
Somebody out there knows.
And I am so happy, by the way, that there is a pause button. It is, like, the best thing in the world.
Yeah, for custom games, not public games. Custom games.
Custom games I think they'd be okay for, but at least for these games, because now it's not like, oh, somebody disconnected, let's try and say that, well, one team will probably be nice for a little bit, then maybe they'll just win the game, I don't know.
Yeah, they'll just sort of quietly be like, oh, we're totally being nice, and they'll just go clear enemy jungle constantly. Red buff going to go over to Mandatory Cloud as Afro Moon cannot complete his steal. Atlanta was coming in from the other side, but that dash going to get him over the wall and out of there safely. 1k gold lead now for mTw, which they've been holding on to since they picked up that extra turret. Now going to exert a little pressure down mid lane, just send that over TSM.evo's way.
Now, I hope Lemon God's going to take that big old creep wave bottom. Okay, he is. No, get away from there. Get away from there, Atlanta. You don't need it. Lemon God does. No!
No, I was just about to say a nice opportunity for Lemon God to try to get himself back into it. Push coming towards mid-outer. TF there to clear most of the lane, however, and Afro Moon just going to take a shot because, you know, he's Afro Moon. He doesn't care about things like towers. He has really cool hair. Doesn't have to worry about that kind of stuff.
It's pretty cool hair, yeah. It's like, well, it's not that cool when you see it in a picture, but when you see that hair in real life, it's like, man, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's impressive. So again, TF clearing the lane very nicely. Muffin Cutie also going to be able to clear the lane pretty effectively at a distance. So a good ability to sort of keep that lane pushed the way that they want it to go. Got to keep their mid-outer tower safe while everybody roams around the map and gets whatever it is that they want done. Keep the gold lead pretty much where it's at. 22 minutes, 15 seconds clicked off the top, and mTw not in a bad spot. Mandatory Cloud rolling farther forward than he should have. He's going to be forced to flash out of that Rumble ult. The Lemon God and Muffin Cutie are there to support if need be. Nocturne wasn't too far out as well. Ball's pushing up top and making sure top stays where he likes it. Doesn't like when those lanes get unruly.
Oh, yeah. So both teams are kind of relying on their late game, which is kind of odd because they both have really good late games. Ashe is amazing late, Nocturne is amazing, but so is Karthus, so is Graves, and Vladimir too. So they're just kind of relying on a really good late game. As actually Balls is not in a good position.
Yep. Could be the victim of a serious torsion there as Unstoppable comes flying in. The Requiem going to come down. Can they catch him up to finish things off, however? Flash comes out good enough to get him some distance, but with the flash forward from Wings of Death, he drops the ult just to hope for the best. Pool comes down, but the Ignite might be enough. He manages to finish off the Yordle. Balls... Oh, I thought he was going to live. The Janna ult just a little too late. Unstoppable goes down to Janna, but Karthus is going to pick up Janna on the other side of that. Going to be a 2-for-2 trade. I thought he was going to live with that Janna ult. It just didn't tick quite fast enough for him to make it through there.
As it happens, we actually have Mandatory Cloud use his ultimate port bot lane just to go ahead and push that turret. So I'd say a better exchange overall. They have the bottom turrets now. These are like the hardest turrets to get in the game because when you push bottom, Baron just suddenly becomes this big beacon for the enemy team to do. And I really like how mTw is playing now. They're taking risks, but they're actually able to recover. Balls was in the worst position ever, but he knew Wings of Death had used his ultimate to try and pick off Mandatory Cloud. He knew that he could get away, and mTw knew they could actually back him up. So that was really cool.
Yeah, mTw making some very smart moves this time, much more tactically sound than they seemed in the last game. They've managed to push out 3,500 gold into the lead, give or take 100 gold here and there. And Karthus, sadly, not the best at taking out turrets, so he's not quite able to finish that one off. Going to buy it a little bit of time with those minions. I don't think that's going to be quite enough, but it's going to be ripe for the taking anytime they want to slide up and pick up top outer. But yeah, bot lane, the only trouble spot for mTw so far this game.
And that CS difference is massive. The gold difference
87
has actually grown a little bit. So Ashe really not coming back in terms of CS, but she has an Infinity Edge. She's looking decent. She's not looking as good as Aphromoo, though.
Yeah, not as good as Aphromoo, but if they can catch Aphromoo out or he just isn't in the right spot as long as Limingod is, plus Limingod still got that initiator, so if he's out front, he'll be able to lay down that arrow, and all of a sudden Aphromoo could be out of the fight very quickly.
No Quicksilver Sash. So, yeah. No real way to stop that initiation. I do like the Vladimir ult. I do like how Atlanta is doing well. So Atlanta might be enough to actually stop Aphromoo. They just need to deal with him, though. That's going to be the scary part in the fight.
And Outer going to go down as mTw spreads themselves a little thin. Just not keeping it quite as tight as they had been. Mandatory Cloud going to come in now and clean things up. Gets the gold card ready, but he's not going to get to use it. He wanted to impress the ladies. Is he going to be able to? He does get it onto the minions there. Atlanta coming in, cleaning up Wraith, so he's in the area. That should stop this advance down mid lane. Vlad coming in. Aphromoo once again tries to slide into the Ashe arrow. Ball's in a very awkward position. Manages to pull out underneath, though, and the Rumble ult comes down. He's going to have to soak up some damage. The ult in Requiem looks like it should be enough to finish it up. Once again, Karthus denied a kill as Rumble jumps forward and picks that one up. An assist out to everybody, though. And it's going to go 4v5 as this push down mid is now looking very serious from TSM.evo. The teamwork finally coming alive here in sort of the mid, late mid game. There we go. That's what I'll call it.
And a misstep. Actually, we have Salsa going in, gets ulted out. Mandatory Cloud does get taken out, though.
That's going to allow them too slow. That's going to allow them to clean up mid-inner. Actually, their creep wave is 9 miles away, so they've got a long, long wait for that one. 16 seconds till Balls is back up. Mandatory Cloud out for 35, so it's got time to get there. Mid-inner still in a bit of trouble. They're going to slide around. Looks like Wings of Death. No, he's not going to make a move on that blue buff. Oh wait, well, blue buff wasn't out. Sorry, that was Wolf Camp.
Now the question is the front line going to be enough to actually stop Karthus and stop, Wings of Death from doing their thing? And it may not be enough. They need Balls alive. They need to be moving as a team on mTw, because if not, Graves will wreck them, Karthus will wreck them. They will just get wrecked. The damage is there, the CC is there on Unstoppable, and that wall, of course. So they need to play a bit safer. They need to make sure they don't get caught up in position like that again, because even Vladimir, who's not an easy person to kill, was taken out. And let's see, we actually have an Oracle on Muffin Cutie now. We have the first real Baron attempt. They've been keeping wards on Baron, both teams have. But now, with that Oracles, there's now a chance that they can actually go for it, which they started it, but there was a ward down, so not going to be finished. And Atlanta actually taken pretty low.
Yeah, Muffin Cutie keep taking shots even as he makes it back to the river bushes. Everybody just going to back off and reset. No real ability to sneak out that Baron right there. Still about a 1.5k gold lead there for mTw, but it has certainly dwindled. And the tower situation has more or less evened up. Top outer is still down in favor of mTw, but with top outer sitting at 149 health. It's not a huge issue for TSM.evo at the moment.
Mm-hmm. And the question is going to be who gets caught out right now, because that gold difference, like you said, it's dwindled. It's really nothing. It's 1,500 gold, and I think that you factor in that Graves has a really big gold lead, then it's not that significant.
Yeah. It's going to be what they can get done if they can pressure with the buff, which again, with Afromo sitting where he is, 244 CS and 411 overall, with Rumble not looking too bad either, and Karthus probably a little bit lower than where he'd like to be, but still going to be able to put out some good damage. It's one of those things to have. They're still going to have trouble pressuring, as if Requiem comes out, it's going to instantly put a good chunk of hurt onto him, and going to make it hard to move. And even if they do manage to steal that Baron buff.
Mm-hmm. And I gotta say, the gold ring on Twisted Fate is actually pretty good now that he has a Lich Bane, now that he has a death cap. Before he had a lot of gold, but it was in, these GP5 items he currently has. But with that death cap, with that Lich Bane, his damage really gets amplified. So TF, not super effective in team fights, but he does get the high damage just because of Lich Bane working so well with pick a card. And of course, wall cards are amazing poke.
Yeah, they put so much good damage down. It's really great at clearing the lane as well if they just need to do that cleanup. The wards have been cleared in TSM.evo, making a move over mTw. Pretty much just going to follow them immediately in that direction, as they did have some good river and jungle warding on their side. Going to be able to catch them making their way across. No sneaking out right there, and yet going to catch that ward and going to go ahead and stop and pick it up as well. Might get this one in topside river wall bush thing there. We've got to get names for all this stuff. Make it super
the good old river wall bush.
Yeah, river wall bush.
Shirilis has been popped. The ult comes down from Wings of Death.
Twisted Advance gets in. The Requiem going to come out and put some damage on a Muffin Cutie. Karth going to get that one as the ult from Afro move flies across as well. Ball's very, very low on health at the moment. He's going to be able to get out the backside, but Atlanta is going to be the sacrificial lamb on the other side of it. Can he get away? The exhaust is down. TF comes in, and Mandatory Cloud going to try to turn around. Picks up Yet, so their support's off the field. Unstoppable now. A little bit of trouble, but it looks like they're not going to be able to get anything done. Gold card lands, and they're just going to try and use this wave to push it on mid inhibitor turret. Afro Mu jumps forward. Maokai going to trade there as TF goes down. Maokai gets the kill on Ashe. Afro Mu taking a few too many shots here to feel comfortable and overstayed their welcome again just a little bit as Afro Mu and Wings of Death are out of this one. So I'll say the only one in good health, and the other two members of TSM.evo are down. Just another, didn't quite get what they wanted to get done that time, and they were forced out of the base once again.
I think they might be overconfident in their actual lead because they're not ahead. But few good reason to be overconfident in the lead. They really went for a crazy dive, and they did pick up Omega in the end, but they actually came out with less HP and in a worse position. But right now, mTw pushed up, and Atlanta's in a horrible position.
Yep, wall comes down, Afro move comes in. That's going to be the end of poor little Nocturne. He gets exploded. Yet doesn't get in quite in time to get an assist for it. Graves going to get the money. Not a person you want getting even more money at this point in the game. Afro Mu gets insanely angry that he got a kill and leaves the game. And we'll pause this one for a second. Lag outs being a problem today.
Afro Mu's just like, you know what? I got that kill. All I needed this game. I'm done.
You guys can finish it up. I took care of the business. And
Afro Mu just says whatever, nerds.
Yeah. And you guys figure it out, man. I covered it. It's fine.
Look, man, I know I always carry. I am the carry player, but it's your turn. I'm sick of this.
Yeah, just come on. You guys need to pull your own weight. Come on. I'm 5'13", 257 CS. Come on. Somebody else get in this game.
I'm going to IHOP, man.
Yeah. Gonna go get something off the $7 menu.
Does IHOP have a $7 menu?
Yeah, chicken fingers and waffles, and they got some other stuff like that on there. They got like something with, I don't remember.
Man, I actually love
IHOP. I don't like them.
I actually don't like it that much either.
Denny's better than IHOP.
Oh, no, it's all about IHOP over Denny's. But every time I go to Vegas, I gotta go to Denny's.
That one place on the strip. Oh yeah, because you're in Long Beach or Orange County?
I'm in Anaheim right now.
There's a place in Manhattan Beach called The Kettle, and it's this 24-hour restaurant, and the food is amazing. You should get I think it's thekettle.net or something like that. Oh, it's so good.
I don't know. Actually, might be over in the LA area this next month. I don't know. Crazy moves going on, but
you got to get out of Anaheim, man. It's no good. You get soft living out there. You get soft and you turn Republican super quick.
Oh yeah,
that's what happens.
Well, I don't know. I feel very smug because I actually live up in the hills, like Anaheim Hills, which is like a beautiful view. So it's like if I want to go to the store, it's actually like a mile and a half away. It's like I'll walk outside, walk down my hill. I'll have my cell phone out, listening to NPR just like through the speakers because no one's around. And I just feel super smug.
Yeah, yeah, that's how people get weak right there. I see. I got to deal with the gangbangers in Torrance. There are really it's a lot of Asians, so I got to deal with people randomly doing complicated math on the streets right in front of me.
That's
We don't have enough cops to deal with that sort of thing.
I don't know if that's politically correct.
Just doing trigonometry wherever they want. What is this? Beirut? Huh?
Trigonometry, man. That's the baby stuff.
That
I
is
studied
baby stuff,
math.
it is.
That is the baby
We
stuff.
got them doing discrete math on the streets wherever they feel like it.
Still babyish.
Yeah.
Look.
Discrete math is come on. Until you get to physics, it's all babyish, really, because it's just worthless.
True, yeah. No, eventually, it's just like he's proving something and not using any numbers because he stopped using numbers in math, and it's the worst feeling in the world when you reach that point.
It's all letters.
It's just like I wrote an essay to prove something about math. What is wrong? Question: Are your cooldowns going insane? Like, do you have anybody highlighted right now with your camera?
I do. It's Janna, but oh yeah, it's 8 and 9. It's Janna's stuck between 8 and 9.
Yeah.
It can't decide.
I actually kind of like that bug because it's insignificant, but is now something to look at on screen. Oh, we cannot move the camera around. I think that's actually a safeguard for people in game to not be able to move around the camera because then you can look around, actually try and notice details, and be like, wait, maybe I can do something right now.
Yeah, yeah. You don't want people planning.
Yeah, it's really funny when like a pause happens and all of a sudden one team just initiates on the other, and it's like they probably saw a good chance to do that because the game was paused.
Yeah.
So, we can go ahead and talk about a few other things right now.
Yeah.
For example, there are cool, sick contests. I'm using the word sick today. I'm bringing it back. If you go to Solomid.NA/contest, you could win some amazing prizes from Steel Series, from Gunners, from Kingston. They have really, really cool stuff from all those places. The Gunner stuff, by the way, people always kind of wondered about it. It's actually just to, like, relax your eyes when you stare at a computer screen for such a long time. So it's pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, I didn't really have any problems with eye strain until Diablo 3. For whatever reason, Diablo 3 just... it hurts. It hurts for me to stare at for multiple hours a day. Okay, don't unpause yet, BRB. Mandatory Cloud, gonna go PP time. And he'll be back super quick.
I guess shout-outs to Roadside Diners.
Yeah. Roadside. We don't have a lot of them in California.
No, we don't.
And I lived in the Midwest, and getting really crappy diner food at literally any time of day made me happy because it's crap food, and I love it to death.
Well, I mean, one of the big things about diners is most of them tend to use really unhealthy fats like lard to cook with.
Lard's not any unhealthier than random other fats that it cooked with.
Well, it's not healthy.
It's not, but it's fat. I mean, it's not,
it's a fat.
Really anywhere. I mean, you could
what I'm
maybe
saying
vegetables
is
a little better.
It's good though because they cook with fat. They don't clean the grills often, and this is like it's on a safety thing. It's because if you don't clean the grills often, the fat kind of builds up and starts adding flavor. So everything you cook there will be unhealthy, but it will be delicious.
Yeah, because it's a seasoned grill, which is nice. It's just like when you season your pans. I mean, if you get yourself a what's the word, skillet, a cast iron skillet, you always got to make sure that you season those. Good way to season those, just cook bacon 3 or 4 times in them. By the way, if you buy an unseasoned skillet, I always buy my cast iron skillets unseasoned. And a good cast iron skillet will last you years and years. It's a nice porous material, so it really soaks up flavor really nicely.
Cooking 101 here at the Solomid.NA Invitational.
Yeah.
Let's see, anything else we can do? Oh, if you would like to follow my fantastic co-caster here, you could go ahead and follow him on Twitter at DigiWombat, D-I-G-I Wombat.
And where can they find you on Twitter? I'm sure you got a Twitter out there somewhere in the Twitter sphere. Is that what they got? Oh, it's such a Twitter sphere. I feel dirty saying it. Twitterverse isn't much better.
I like Twitterverse, but if you want to follow me on the Twitter web, you can follow me at League of Studio, and we can tweet about stuff. I don't know. What's your favorite brand of French fries from the fast food place?
Fast food. I gotta. Oh, it's Stoppable died. I gotta give it to McDonald's, man. Their
Really?
ketchup is like specially formulated as well. I don't like a lot of this natural fries stuff that people have been doing lately. The fries get all thick and weird. I'm not a fan. McDonald's keeps it classy with the shoestring potato, man.
I'm gonna cheat and say the waffle fries from Chick-fil-A.
I've never been a waffle fry fan.
Really?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I blame, I don't know, growing up near Chick-fil-A. I never because I grew up in the South, so we had Bojangles, which is just their chicken's way better. So I was always sad when we would go to Chick-fil-A because it wasn't as good as Bojangles, and it made me kind of upset, you know.
Yeah, no, it's like if you have like the direct better comparison, it's kind of like whatever. What's your opinion of In-N-Out since you're not from California?
I loved In-N-Out when I moved here, and I ate it so insanely much that I don't really dig it anymore.
Okay.
I'm kind of over it. Five Guys is my thing now.
Oh yeah, they started actually opening them up here, which
Yeah.
is really weird. Of course, Five Guys being the best place because just like I want to go get Five Guys being the best statement you can make,
Yeah.
and not having it be sexual at all.
I need to get some Five Guys, put in my mouth.
Yeah, and you get Five Guys.
I could have said that in a way worse way, but I'm just gonna leave it right there. Five Guys so good though. Yeah, they make a good burger. I add a burger. I get their regular cheeseburger, which is double, and then I add a burger onto it because you need as much meat as possible. It helps you live longer.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. It's a known health thing. So the rumor being shut out now is that Afremu is being DDoS'd. I have no idea. It'd be actually really annoying and not funny at all. But don't do that. Don't do it, guys.
Yeah, don't do
it's
that.
not nice.
It's not polite.
Yeah.
I'm sure that'll be enough to stop them.
Yeah.
I think anytime you say please don't do a thing, that's what people do.
I mean, like the thing is, it kind of just makes it turn worse. The players can't play. Come on, man.
Yeah.
But actually, apparently, for DreamHack, there were the DDoS rumors there, and if they're true, I guess the actual company providing internet was there monitoring everything.
Yeah.
So I hope you weren't the people who did that because they are actively,
It's okay. They're behind like 7 proxies. It's
7 proxies.
behind them.
A way nerdy version of the Seven Samurai.
Yeah. Somebody just say Fuddruckers is good. I haven't been to a Fuddruckers in forever, but it always felt like when I was a kid, like I was saying a bad word anytime I'd say Fuddruckers. So I'd say it, and then I'd laugh a little bit.
Yeah,
Be like,
it's just fun to say.
They're not even mad. It's Fuddruckers. Because it really, if you move some,
You
some
gotta
letters around.
Gotta do the thing with the bad arrangement for not streaming purposes.
Yeah. We can't. That's shout outs to our sponsors.
Yeah. Shouts to Fuddruckers.
We need to get more food based sponsors, I feel like, because Gamer Grub sponsors VVV, and Gamer Grub's pretty good, but I want I don't know, man, like some good sub sandwiches or something. You know what I mean?
Come on, Subway. Sponsor esports.
Not Subway, man. Like Jersey Mike's is better than Subway.
Okay. So I like Subway just as a place for sandwiches, but I know they're not the best sandwiches. Just like an okay sandwich.
Oh, the announcement box has a problem. Hold on. I'll fix it. I'm going to fix that announcement box, you guys. I'm on top of it.
So what happens when a pause runs out? Just ends? Can you repause the game?
I'm not sure. I don't think it's ever happened.
Let's hope it doesn't.
Yeah, the center alignment was messing up the announcement box. So sorry. I put it on left alignment now for whatever the center alignment was really messing that up. Yeah, Taco Bell wouldn't be bad. I'm a little mad at Taco Bell. And I'll tell you why. They had the Beefy Crunch burrito, which is the best burrito that man had ever developed. Science was on our side, and then they got rid of it, and they're like, Doritos Taco. And I'm like, but I don't want a Doritos Taco. I want a Beefy Crunch burrito.
I don't like Taco Bell. I don't know. I've had real Mexican food. It is just too crappy. Like I can eat Del Taco. I know it's not real Mexican food, but it's close
Their
enough.
breakfast burritos
Taco Bell
are delicious at Del
oh.
Taco. Yeah, no, Taco Bell's terrible.
Oh yeah.
I would be the first to admit that it's awful, and it probably is going to give me like 8 different kinds of cancer. But
Let's see.
Yeah.
Yum Foods tier list. Yum Foods tier list. I'd say tier 1, A&W.
Oh yeah, A&W is always good. I don't mind a Long John Silver's either. If it's fresh, if it's been sitting around for like 6 hours.
Yeah. The Long John's pretty good.
Yeah.
I know. Apparently A and W is like being phased out, which is weird because I love them, even though they're not very.
Yeah, they always had a good. I mean,
common.
plus you could get root beer, which was
Oh,
nice. It's hard to get good root beer anywhere. They have Barks now occasionally, but I like a good A&W. Barks in the can is better than Barks out of the fountain to me. So I don't know, but they always had good They always had that good A&W root beer, man.
I'm too much of a cola guy for root beer.
I'm a big root beer fan. My favorite root beer, Nyat has left now. They've found everybody, and they're taking them out one by one. Chilaquiles. Oh, Chilaquiles.
Chilaquiles are really
That
good.
is some good stuff, man. I used to get that all the time. It's a local place where I grew up called Mazatlan, not the city, but the restaurant.
Okay, I'm about to say it's like Motherland. You did.
No, yeah,
You said the Midwest. Did you mean Midwest?
I did not. Yeah, I did not grow up. That was in North Carolina. Lemon God, chatting with everybody, seeing how they're doing. Sadly, we can't.
Yeah, I tried to respond actually,
We
and it's
can't,
like
yeah.
chat is restricted to all players only, or to players only.
Yeah. At least they tell you now instead of it just going nowhere. Before they just let it go off into the void.
Like goodbye messages. It would be fun to be able to chat with all the other spectators, but I think that's actually a thing Riot is steadily working on. At the same time, though, with the amount of people who play this game, and the amount of people who watch like the featured matches, imagine how many people you could actually chat with at once. It would be like a Twitch TV chat going terribly wrong.
Yeah. Which is basically what a lot of those spec chats are like in Dota 2.
Yeah.
It'll just be people spamming the entire time, which really enhances the gameplay experience for me because it makes me feel like I'm really on the internet. I just until I see swear words, racial slurs, and lots of insults being cast back and forth, I don't feel like I'm on the internet, and I really need that to feel comfortable.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, you need the insult.
Yeah.
If not, it's just like, what am I doing here? It's like I'm not being told I'm a terrible person and being insulted for a race I may or may not be.
Yeah. Which is always nice.
Yeah, it's just like, well, they're taking a stab at it. They didn't get it right this time, but I'm still kind of offended.
Oh, Afro
Okay.
made it back.
All right, that's good. Now we just need
It's Nyut, and I think that's a one at a time. And Muffin is still out as well. It's a problem, man. Is when you're
Wait.
sort of at home, it's hard to get stuff in there.
perfect. Muffin and Yet are gone.
So
Sports are gone. Yeah.
4v4. Just we're gonna take it super classy.
Yeah. Come on. Have respect. Don't pretend the supports are actually not there and just have them like plant awards places while not being revealed. That would just be rude. Yeah.
Got this, man. We don't need supports.
Another TS tourney, another DDoS fest. Oh.
It's hey man, when you get popular, StarCraft went through a phase of this where everything just got messed with all the time. We kind of moved out of it as I think everybody got bored, but a large part of it was that they figured out who was doing it.
Ooh.
With a lot of help from V, being desperately in love with Destiny. I don't know if there's that much love for anybody specifically, but hopefully the LOL general thread detectives are on it, and they'll find these guys, and then we can call their parents and accuse them of things.
Just get, internet wizards. If somebody does something I don't understand, they're a wizard. Like, just straight up. You cast magic.
That's how it works, I think. It must be.
Like, actually, to go back on the subject of subs, when somebody wraps a sandwich in a wrapper, I'm like, how did you do that? I cannot possibly replicate this. You are some sort of magician.
Yeah, when you got all that stuff folded all nicely at like when people wrap presents, that's one that gets me.
It's like, how did you do that? Like, yours is all, like,
and then they do it
and
quickly.
clothes. Yeah, I spent like an hour and I have to use like 5 rolls of tape and it looks like crap.
Yeah, I've started just using aluminum foil.
I like it.
And it gets the job done. I think it poses a serious threat to cutting people, but that's fine. I don't mind if it cuts. I've given you a present. It's up to you not to hurt yourself opening it. I completely step out of the picture. Once I've given the gift, I'm okay.
It does have a certain style to it. So we've been paused for about 16 and a half minutes now, a little more actually. Yeah. Let's go ahead and do a few more shout-outs to our sponsors.
Yes.
Once again, you can go to solomid.net/contest. And you can win some sweet, sweet gear from Steel Series, from Gunner, from Kingston Hyper. They have awesome things. You get a solid state drive. Those things are awesome. Just like putting out there. They work well. They load things up fast. You don't have to deal with like a minute loading windows. And of course, shoutouts to Twitch TV and of course Team Solomid themselves for hosting this fantastic tourney.
Yeah. I want a solid state drive, but I install all my games to my main drive because all my other drives are in use for other stuff, and it's I want them to be like 1 terabyte. Even if I think if I could get like 750 gigabyte, which they have in the hybrid drives, but it just doesn't. Yeah, I want big ones. I got a lot of storage needs. I got like 180 games on Steam. I need all of them installed all the time.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think, like, there are a few games that, like, will boot up really quickly with a solid state drive, like WoW or something, but for the most part, like, they have very specific uses, and they're really cool, and you can get them used, like a solid state drive. It's actually something that, like, if you try and do just whatever with it, you're not getting the full thing out of it, but if you actually, like, install, like, these hard-to-load programs, the ones that involve a lot of memory and will eventually just transfer to your RAM, Photoshop will be good for it. And, of course, just toss your OS on it if you can, and
yeah.
Like Windows, it's here instantly.
It always feels good too. I always find one of those things. I had a couple friends with solid state drives. League is not one of those games where you're going to load faster though. Mm-hmm. I still outload some of my friends because I have no idea what it's loading exactly. I know it probably does some synchronizing at some point in there. Afrobu on some hurt
has left
now.
The game.
Going to be interesting if we run out of pause time here. We're going to find out how the pause feature works exactly.
I think we're actually going to take a short commercial break, if I'm getting this message right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got somebody to run those for me. I didn't get editor access, which is fine. With the overlays, I would have forgotten anyway. Mm-hmm. We would have both been yelled at. Well, me. I would have been yelled at. But then I would have yelled at you. So, I mean, because I have to transfer the hate somewhere. I got all that anger inside me. I got to just, I have to strike someone, and I don't have a child here to strike, so I have to just flip out. But yeah, so hopefully you guys have your stuff off. Your ad blockers off to support TSM and esports. Twitch needs that money.
But yeah, we'll take a short break, I guess. I'll be right back then.
Yeah, he's gonna run off. I'll keep talking. I'll talk to the chat.
I'll get some water, man.
Yeah, you go get some water. I'm gonna talk to the chat. I'm behind on Legend of Korra, so no spoilers. No spoilers. I haven't seen. I've watched through episode 3. But I'm gonna get there. How you guys feeling? How's the chat doing? Oh my God, Korra dies. Oh, Aang dies. He did. Now I have a problem. Let's talk for a second about the problem that I have. Okay, because Boomy, right? King Boomy lived for like 180 years. So did everybody else. Why in the world is Aang dead at like 90 or whatever? Because it was it wasn't that long after. Why is everybody dead? Why is the entire group dead? Like, what happened to Toph? Like, why is she dead? I don't understand. I feel like that's bad thing there. Why did everybody die? I feel like they could have kept some of them alive. Toph is alive? Okay, I'm behind. See, spoilers. I said no spoilers. Oh, what are you guys doing? Oh, I ruined my life.
What happened?
Oh, I was talking about... Oh, Katara's still alive. Good. Good. I was really upset when they kind of said that, because I read the pre... I was talking about Legend of Korra. I read all the pre-information stuff. And I was upset, because in the stuff that they put out before the show came out, they were like, oh, everybody's dead. And I was like, what? Not cool, man. Everybody lived to be like 1 million in the old one. Made me sad. It's good though. Legend Korra. Are you watching Legend Korra? Did you watch the original Avatar: The Last Airbender? Not the movie. If you talk about the movie, I'll break your knees right now. We'll talk about that. Not Avatar the movie, but The Last Airbender movie. Anyway, did you watch Avatar: The Last Airbender, the show?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
You didn't watch it? Why not?
I don't know. I never really came up. It's like, oh, it's a cartoon thing. I don't watch a lot of TV in general, so
Did you just besmirch cartoons
well, I love cartoons
right
and I'll
now?
watch them, but like if it's just like a cartoon, I'm like I don't know if I'll actually keep up with this. When I watch a show, I watch one show and I watch the hell out of it. Like,
Yeah.
for example, like
It's a
2 years
good
ago,
one.
I picked up House and I just watched like through everything for House.
Are
But I
you
didn't
done
watch
with
the,
House now? It's that
um,
season 8 was good.
I stopped at the let's see, not second, third to last season,
Yeah.
and then like it started getting into like the House Cuddy stuff. I'm like, nah.
You weren't a House Cuddy fan?
I just didn't care
You
that
want him to
much.
hook up with the younger chick so you could sort of fantasize that that's where you're going to be able to have that kind of swag when you're older.
No, because I don't want to use a cane.
Yeah. What? Oh, dude, Kane adds so much character though.
It does. I'm flat-footed, so I actually might have to when I'm
Yeah,
older.
yeah, you're gonna have bad art. You got bad arches, man. You're gonna have all kinds of osteoarthritis and stuff.
Hmm.
It's gonna be
Yeah,
great.
if you are flat-footed, by the way, visit your local orthopedist.
Yeah.
It's actually really serious.
Get some
like,
arch
it's-
supports.
yeah,
You can't
It's-
join the
it-
army. Do they let flat-footed people in the military now?
they might.
They used to not.
They used to, yeah, it used to be a big deal.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you're flat-footed. No, sorry, man, but it's actually legitimately a big deal, though. It's actually really funny because I meet people who are flat-footed, and like they will just like not care, but you can actually seriously mess up your legs just by walking.
Yeah. Oh no, yeah, because it's. I mean, the nerve lines in that run all over your body. That's.
Mm-hmm.
It's why you can get back pain if you have bad feet and stuff like that.
Yeah. And the best way to put it is every time you take a step, you're pretty much just slamming your just foot in the ground, vibrations and everything.
Yeah.
So,
And there's a little bit of cushion there, but not quite enough for it to
Yeah.
happen all the time. Yeah.
okay,
Sad, you
we're
gotta get
6
that
minutes
fixed.
away.
You gotta get that fixed, man.
Mm-hmm.
They have stuff to fix that. I read about this thing that they have that hasn't made it through medical testing yet, but it's like a one-time treatment that will make your mouth stop producing the bacteria that cause tooth decay. But like you still digest fine and everything. It just gets rid of the lactic acid production, I think it was, in the mouth bacteria. So like it's still you still digest food and your mouth does what it's supposed to. It just doesn't. I was like, oh, that's so cool. Why isn't that a thing right now? And they're trying to get it through trials, but nobody's interested because it won't cost a lot of money, and it's a permanent fix for a lot of dental problems.
So if you look actually at the pause, it's changed to a yellow color.
Yeah, we're in emergency pause mode now.
Honestly, I think the best solution here, if like they cannot get people back in the game, would be to do a 4v4. But I think Afromood is connected again, didn't he? Did he make it back?
Yeah,
Nope.
I'm not sure. We don't
did
have a
not.
way to check, do we?
You can just check the chat. But I
Oh yeah,
did
they
not
said
see
in the
it.
chat. It went away.
Yeah, but he has not reconnected, so it's currently a 4v3, which in favor of MTW because 4 is a bigger number than 3.
And now it's stoppable.
4v2, much more in favor of MTW. Looking good.
So Atlanta now fully in favor of the 4v2. Oh man, pause time's yellow.
Yeah. It's dawning on them. They know what they're at. They're at the yellow part of the pause time. I don't know what's going on over there. Let me ask them. Oh, so what's up with you guys?
Don't forget to put a heart on the end so that they know that you feel nothing but love for them. Unstoppable backend.
I sent a frowny face actually.
Oh,
Like,
frowny face.
uh,
Well, that's gonna hurt their feelings. Now, what if they think that's them?
No, it's not at them. It's just because, like, man, oh, I feel bad. But
You gotta do frowning faces and hearts to let them know that you love them, but their situation is bad.
Unstoppable X currently stoppable.
Quite stoppable. His internet is, anyway. 4 minutes, 19 seconds left. I had to say it at the same time.
So let's see who's in this game. I think Nyut's still out. Avramu's out. Unstoppable's out. Wings of Death and Salsa.
Yeah, I think Nuts on Cox Cable, so they probably just dumped him immediately. If anything weird looking, they were just like, "No, we get rid of this one.
I hate. They're such a bad cable
Bring
company.
it back later." What's funny is they actually went to bat because they were sick of all the John Doe lawsuits that were going on. So they did a pretty good thing. Tell us a
Let's see.
joke. Do I have any good jokes? You got any good jokes, studio?
Actually, I have a couple. I think.
I want to tell terrible jokes if I tell any jokes.
Oh, of course they're gonna be horrible.
How do you get to Carnegie Hall? Practice. Oh, from the 20s. That's where I'm bringing my jokes from.
Well, I'll bring mine from elementary school. Why did the student bring scissors into the cafeteria?
I don't know.
so we could cut in line.
Oh, oh, that's terrible. There is a stream too. Thank you for reminding me, the troll crack. There's a stream too. I believe it's on Dan Din's stream, so twitch.tv/Dan Din. If we could get a link over to that. Terrible, we can cut the line. Oh, it's good.
Well, I just have one more question. What type of sandwich do you call a coward?
Oh, I don't know.
A chicken sandwich.
A chicken sandwich! I wish I had like a little rim shot button. So I could just boots like that. I just want to bring one of those up. I don't actually want to play 4v4.
Yeah, they have to change IPs apparently.
Yeah, so there's going to be a delayed first round. It's 1-0 in favor of TSM.evo, and it was a very close game. I mean, only 1,000 gold off through 30 minutes of play. Of course, Afromoon in a great position, so with Afromoon not in, obviously that's just untenable. You can't not have your AD carry who's crushing. 2 minutes and 10 seconds that we have left to defuse the bomb. We've put in a call to Kiefer Sutherland. He's on his way.
Okay. They will actually have to play out the match, I think, just because they cannot really delay the match. If we delay this match, then the tournament gets delayed, and...
Yeah. So is that... We're just saying they're DC'd, that's it?
Well,
There's nothing they can do. I mean, it's obviously it's an admin decision at this point. Hopefully the information's being relayed over. Hopefully it got relayed over much faster than this, because they're 3 minutes out front of us.
Yeah,
So really, this pause has been done for a minute and a half. Yeah.
Time has moved forward, actually. Odd to say. I know.
We've become unstuck in time. We took the TARDIS back 3 minutes, and we're stuck there. It broke, or maybe we did a leap back 3 minutes, and now we have to figure out how to get everybody reconnected before they'll allow us to jump back to our world.
I'm thinking of actually Slaughterhouse 5 when you said that. It's like we become unstuck in time. So it's not that we have to jump back in time, it's just we're not looking in the fourth dimension.
That's the problem, man. We got to get those fourth dimension glasses.
Oh man, look at the color.
Oh god. Game resuming soon. You have overstayed your welcome.
What's that spinning circle mean?
TARDIS can't break. Good if I wrote for Dr. What's his name? That's going to make somebody mad. And it's funny to me. So, apparently they want us to play it out. The information did get over. A lull came out, and then it's going to be a very sad state of affairs once we get back in this one, as the AD is disconnected.
There's a lot of people disconnected, actually.
Yeah, I'm still not entirely sure who all's disconnected. I believe Muffin Cutie's still gone, Yut's gone, Afromu's out. Unstoppable made it back in, I think.
Unstoppable is, I'm getting a report that it is a 4v3. So, well, frowny faces on, guys.
Yeah, and all damage dealers are in for mTw.NA, whereas Afromu's out. There we go. We're back in this game. Let's see who ends up moving around, because looks like 4v3. Yeah, just hop over to Twisted Treeline, make it a 3v3 over there. Play a quick one. So, in the interests of the tourney at large, we got to continue along with this one. Really, nothing to be done about it. I mean, that's kind of the nature of things, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, well, actually, we're already behind schedule as is. We're already supposed to start round 2 this very second, but you factor in a 30-minute delay, and actually earlier delay because of queue times. Gotta move on, man.
Well, with MTW up a member in this case, it kind of makes it weird to go into Game 3, as they're up a member with a slight lead in gold as well, so it's going to go 1-1, which means there's still a Game 3 to play, so the awkwardness is not going to be resolved necessarily by the end of this game.
I have no idea what's going to happen in the next few minutes. Hopefully the information will get relayed to us. But right now, I'm going to shrug my shoulders and say it's really unfortunate that we do have these disconnects, that they cannot reconnect to this game. And I don't know. I hate to see this. I love seeing a good League of Legends game.
Yeah, it always hurts when there's a DC and you're just going to have to roll with it. But it's, I mean, you know, if you guys could just track down and break the knees of whoever. We don't condone.
No, don't do that. I mean, I guess they find it funny. I don't know. It's something that is actually, it's almost impressive because it's a sign that there's that much interest. But I don't know. I love this game. I love seeing good games like this. And we have the initiation on Unstoppable. Here comes Mandatory Cloud using his ultimate to get in there. Salsa getting down low. Will die in a good position, actually. Unstoppable does go down. Lemon God trying to be chased out of there. Almost murdered by Wings of Death. Actually does get murdered by Wings of Death.
Atlanta makes it out. Ashe doesn't, and it's going to be poor little Rumble running for his life. He's going to get out of there. Atlanta very close to death, but the Requiem didn't put enough damage down to convince him to shuffle off the Mortal Coil. Going to go ahead and clear the lane and move on mid inhibitor turret now, as they have Baron buff and Wings of Death. Can't offer up really any aggression against this. Just going to try and clear the lane as much as possible. He's going to be able to do that. Back into the jungle to farm for Atlanta.
He actually had the damage to maybe kill one person, but the second a gold card lands on him, he cannot control the Fame Spitter angle. He is screwed as Rumble. That's actually a problem Rumble has. He's melee, essentially.
Yeah.
And you build him
with that combo. I mean, if Vlad comes in and Nocturne makes his way back, because they weren't too far out, so if he had engaged on that, it would have been he probably would have just taken a lot of damage. Might have been able to get out of there, but probably would have just taken a lot of damage. Had to back it on up. Wings of Death going to go try and pick up red, as Nocturne was not interested in it. Might not have been up at the time. I was paying a whole ton of attention. 53.7k gold to 49.8, as they've got themselves nice little gold lead after that Baron pickup. Still behind on the kill count by 1, but they've gotten themselves plenty of extra money to get in there, and we'll see if anybody can make it back in, as an Afro move. Try to reset their IPs, but sometimes it can be a little stubborn. You never really quite know if you need to change your MAC address or just unplug or replug the router.
Oh, man. So actually, something good about the servers, if you were in a game and you try and log in, which is currently the case with and everybody's not connected, when you reconnect, you do not have to deal with the queue time. So they can log in. They don't have to deal with the hour-long queue time that I believe is currently in progress. It will be unfortunate if they log in after this game ends, though. I don't know. We're going to have to see what happens. Let's see. So the push is going to come out. This is something you normally see even without the disconnects. They have all the outer turrets down. They want to try and poke. Mandatory Cloud can push a separate lane. He just has to make sure he doesn't die, which with Unstoppable X there, he won't be able to actually finish him off. So they can split push, they can apply multiple pressure, and maybe win a fight here.
Yeah, good job clearing the lane here. They managed to get balls down low as he takes a little too much health. Lemon God back in the fight. Not adding a ton to it. Going to force Rumble back, but he has time to do that. Unstoppable still just trying to clear the lane as Mandatory Cloud putting damage on that bot inhibitor turret. It's going to go down as he's just got a little too much damage for his own good right there. Going to fan shot through the middle, clean up all those cards. And then on over to try to pick up the inhibitor now as the 4v3 is in full effect. Arrow going to go ahead and slide on through. Requiem comes down just to try to dissuade them. Ball's caught out, but can't really finish anything off as Unstoppable gets blown up. Salsa comes in. The ult comes down from Nocturne, and TF just goes to work.
Red team's inhibitor has been destroyed.
58k gold to 51.7 as the 4v3, showing right there that there's just not really anything that TSM.evo can do at this point unless they get the world's luckiest reconnect. Got the push coming in bottom as well. Middle inhibitor going to go down as Wings of Death can't offer up any real resistance to this continued push down. Salsa going to go ahead and check out of the game as he sees no further point in continuing. And got to be frustrating right now for TSM.evo.
I think Salsa actually might have gotten disconnected.
Oh, it did say has quit in the chat. I never really knew. Somebody was like, that means they closed it.
Okay, I'm asking Lemon God. Apparently Salsa disconnected too. We actually had the ultimate come down when that, and yeah, so
it goes 1-1. And what do we do here? Coin flip to see who moves on, or?
I believe they're talking to an admin right now. Yep. I'm gonna double check that because this is something that definitely needs an admin's attention. But yeah, so game 2 between mTw.NA and TSM.evo has gone to mTw. Currently, we've got to sort through these technical glitches and figure out what's going on. I think the communication is underway, though, so we'll have to see what's up.
I'm getting everything set up over here for just the next game, assuming we make it there. I want to go ahead and have the overlays set up. TW.NA. There we go. So that's all set up, and then we'll get it back over to the overlay right there.